Have you ever looked at a problem and just been overwhelmed by the number of things that you had to do? By the time we get to retirement age, our lives are a bit like a garage that became a storage place for so very many things. And one day you walk out to the garage and realize there's not only not enough room for the cars, but now you don't have any place to walk. And it's time to sort of declutter and move things aside and decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of. And I think that it's very important for us to take a look at our lives, take inventory, and see what's been stacking up that we weren't really noticing. Hi, I'm Bill Hennessy, and this is the Finding Meaning and Purpose in Retirement podcast. And today I want to talk about sorting through priorities. Because for retirees, a lot of times we don't think through the clutter, the buildup of things that has occurred over the years. We've tended to finances. We've got some ideas of what we want to accomplish and maybe where we want to travel and what's on our bucket list. But when it comes down to executing those plans, a lot of times the things that we've accumulated, either possessions that we have in our homes or in a storage unit somewhere, or the things that have accumulated in our minds, can get in the way of really having a meaningful and purposeful retirement. As a coach, I help people who are in their near retirement navigate the chaos and confusion and change so that they can find fulfillment, friendship, and freedom in the new season. And in order to do that, sometimes we've got to make space. Sometimes we've just got to make space to have good decisions that come out of our living and to be able to look forward and say, yes, I can do this, or no, I can't do that, based on obligations that we've maybe accumulated. There's a lot of things that accumulate over time, aren't there? And I think that it's really super important today to take a look at your life, and whether it be a closet that maybe it's like the old Fibber McGee's closet on the radio program, where you open the door and everything comes cascading out, or it's a issue in our minds, and it's something that someone triggers us, and all of these emotions come through that we've never really processed. I think God designed us for more than chaos. I think God designed us for more than confusion. And I'd like to challenge you to take stock of what's in your life right now, whether they be physical possessions, or whether you're talking about experiences or emotions or feelings or bitterness, anger, those types of things that may accumulate over time in the season. One way to really assess your life is to ask yourself, what would you miss if you had a fire? What would you miss if somehow or another everything was taken away? The things that wouldn't be missed are probably things that we can get rid of today. It's really important for us to be able to act with a certain measure of freedom. And that freedom comes in knowing that we own what we possess, not that our possessions own us. It's a really simple thing to begin to simplify. All you have to do is ask yourself, have I used this thing in the last 2 years? Ask yourself, am I going to use it again in the next 2 years? And if the answer is no, you might consider putting that on a downsize list. In the same way, when you think about your experiences, when you think about your relationships, past, present relationships, are those adding to your life, or are they taking away from your life? Are they giving you freedom, or are they holding you back? And again, you may need to take stock of those things and say, are they on my to-keep list, or are they on my downsizing list? And I think if you do, you're going to find a little more freedom. You're going to find a little more meaning and purpose in your retirement. If you've been enjoying this podcast, let me ask you to do me a huge favor. Hit subscribe. And then if you've really enjoyed it, leave a comment. That's going to help us to grow this community so that we can move on to bigger and better things. As the viewership grows, new opportunities are arising. We have the Facebook page, Finding Meaning and Purpose in Retirement, that you can visit. We're going to be having an online community that you can belong to, and we're going to have retreats that take place each year in Branson, Missouri on Table Rock Lake. You're not going to want to miss that. So again, if you've been enjoying the podcast, if it's been making a difference in your life, please hit subscribe and like and comment. It'll help us get the word out to many other people just like us who are trying to find meaning and purpose in retirement. Until next time, bye-bye.